This is the first video in doing math with Python series. In this series I will explain how to do basic math, probability, statistics using Python. Yeah We'll start with basic mathematical operators. Let's say I don't know. We can do mathematical operators like this is an interpreter, so I can do operations without any problem. I can also do 2 times of asterisk, that will give 2 power, let's say 2 power to 4. Now this is the basic mathematical operators, right? And there is also ampersand. This ampersand will give a reminder, right? If since let's say 10 is perfectly divisible by 2, right? So it doesn't give any kind of reminder, it gives 0. Yeah, these are the basic mathematical operators. Now attaching names to numbers. Let's say a is equal to 10. If I want to access value 10, then I can simply say a consists of value 10. Attaching names to numbers, different kinds of numbers, and working with fractions. If I want to work with fractions in Python, I have to import a module called fractions. From fractions, import fraction. Now let's say a is equal to a fraction of 2 comma 3 2 comma 4. Now a is a fraction. A is a type of fraction and it consists of a fraction 1 comma 2. Complex numbers, I don't have to use any kind of keywords, but I have to specify it in the right order. Let's say 3. That's 3j. Now a is a complex number. You getting user input. How to use input of keyword to get input. It is asking for some input. Let's say 12. Now a consists of a 12. The 12 I have entered, that is stored in a, is not an integer. You have to be careful. Type of a is not an integer, it is a string. If I want an integer, then I have to say a is equal to int of input of something. Let's say again 12. Now the 12 is an integer, not a string, right? Handling exceptions and invalid input. How to handle exceptions, right? If I want to handle exceptions, I have to use try and except keywords. Let's say in try block I can say if anything goes wrong from the try block, it will execute the except block, right? Now let's say a is equal to float of input of enter and float. Yep. Except value. Sorry. Chalo. Let's try it again. Value. Print value error. Here you can see it is asking for some input. Let's say if I entered some fraction, it will generate an error, and but the error will be handled by the program itself. The print block, this except block, will handle the error. I am doing this mistake consciously, and here you can see the except block has executed and it printed some value error, some printf statement. Now fractions and complex numbers as an input. Just like this I can say, but here I have to specify fraction and input a let's say 2 by 3. If I want to initialize a fraction, I have to do like fraction of 2 comma 3. But here you can see I have entered 2 by 3, right? So it is pretty easy. If I took input like this, let's say complex, enter a complex, let's print it. It is asking for an input complex. Now a is a complex number. Yep, this is how I can take input as a complex numbers. Now the interesting part, how to write programs. I think there are 4 programs: factors of an integer, multiplication tables, converting units of measurement, roots of a quadratic equation. uh, let's start with, let's create a new file and save. Math. You can see start with factors. um, if a number is divisible by, if is a number is perfectly divisible, then it is called a factor, right? We'll check whether we will check whether the number is divisible by it or not perfectly, right? So we'll loop through all the, we will iterate through all the possibilities like until n, and it will check, we have to check each and every number till the end, and if anything gives reminder 0, then we have to add it to our count, and or else we have to just move on. For I in range of 1 comma n, if n percentage of I, like I said, m percentage of symbol will return the remainder, right? If it is equal to 0, this 2 times of equal to will is an comparison operator. It is not an assignment, it is an comparison operator, and it will check whether if it is equal to 0, and if it is 0, then it will print the I. Okay, right? Let's say print, okay, if the program starts here, the program starts to run here, and it will end at wait, yep, it's good to find. Now print, this program is, my name is to find the factors of a number, right? Now print factors of a number, and yep, now let's see. While, let's write a while loop, and let's make it infinite loop, and a is equal to input of enter an integer. Now it will take an integer and it will call the function. We have to call right. Once again, simply the def keyword is used to write a function. This fact is called function name, and it is taking an input, a parameter that is n, and the for loop will iterate through 1, and it is not till n, it is run up to n minus 1, right? Then it will check if for each and every iteration the code, the same code block will run, right? And if any number gives reminder 0, then it will print I, or else it will just move on. Now is the program starts to execute here. It will print this statement, and the while loop is an infinite loop. For each and every time it will take an integer, and it will call the function with a parameter a. Let's try to run this thing. cds python math.py. Factors of a number, let's say 5, sorry, let's say 10, let's say 2 something, let's say 24. Here you can see it is printing perfectly. Now the second one is to find multiplication table, to print the multiplication table, right? Multiplication tables table of n. Let's say a comma b. Let's write a for loop for I in range of what b. Let's say if I don't specify anything, it will start at 0 and end at n minus 1, right? So let's specify to start with 1 and end with b plus 1. So it will end at b, right? Now print total. The format of keyword will arrange values from the parentheses from the brackets to this parenthesis. Let's say this parenthesis will consist of index and the values from I can write anything between these parentheses so that it will be in the print statement, but inside the parentheses the values will come from the format of, right? The format of will consist of what? N into I is equal to n into I. N first n comma I comma n into I. Now let's save it again. Multiplication tables, enter an integer, same process. Yep. But we also have to take input b, right? We have to specify the number of steps also, right? But this is not n, this is b. Sorry, it is a. Now b is equal to enter number of steps. Yep. Everything is fine. Python math.py. Multiplication tables. Let's enter an integer. Let's say I want to print two table until, let's say, 18 steps. It printed two table till 18 steps, right? This is how we print tables now, converting units of measurement. Miles. No, but I have to take input, right? A is equal to distance in what? The distance in, let's say, kilometer. Now if I want to convert kilometers to miles, what is the formula? 1 kilometer is 1 kilometer. Wait, I will show it in the internet, it will be much clearer. Miles to kilometer. 1 mile is equal to 1.609 kilometers, right? So if I want to convert kilometers to miles, then I have to do small to divide. Then I have to divide, right? If I want to convert miles to kilometers, then I have to multiply with this number, right? So that I can get the number of kilometers. But let's say I want to convert 2 miles to kilometers. Then what I have to do? Then I have to do multiplication with 1.6. 2 into 1.609. That will give the number of kilometers. 2 kilometers is equal to 2 into 1.609 kilometers. Then what if I want to convert kilometers to miles? Then I have to divide, right? Let's say wait wait a minute. Let's say I want to convert 2 kilometers to miles. Then I have to do what? 2 divided by 1.609. No, a consists of number of kilometers. Then the number of miles would be a divided by 1.609. Yep, same logic, but I have to do multiplication if I want to convert it to kilometers, if I want to convert miles to kilometers. A into, let's say, into is not in multiplication table. We have this is unit conversions, right? Unit conversions. Let's take input. Let's say is equal to int of, let's ask for an input and let's put some options to select, and yeah, input of and option, and yeah. Now let's here specify some options. Let's say 1 is equal to into miles, and second option will be miles to kilometers, and the third one would be exit. Let's say this is an infinite loop, right? What if I want to exit? I can press the exit button. No, if a is equal to 1, then k underscore miles. If a is equal to 2, then miles underscore k. If a is equal to 3, or break, so that it will break the loop. Let's unit conversions, kilometer to miles, miles to kilometers, and an exit option. Just for fun, let's try to do exit. Let's run it again. One, it is asking to input kilometers. Let's say I want to convert 2 kilometers. Then 2 kilometers is equal to 1.243 something. Enter an option. Let's try to convert miles to kilometers. Want to convert 2 miles. 2 miles is equal to 3.218, right? It is working perfectly. Now the third one is the fourth one is to find the quadratic equation. Yep, to find the roots, the formula is minus b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac by 2a. Pretty famous, pretty useful formula. Wait, roots, print 9. Let's divide the formula, and let's put b square minus 4ac square root of b square minus 4ac together, and continue. Asterisk 0.5, asterisk of 0.5 represents the root, right? And b into b minus 4 A C. X1 x underscore 1 is equal to minus B plus T divided by 2 into A. The same logic for x2, right? But the difference is we have to do a minus. The function is ready, but ABC values, it's B C values. Print what? Let's print roots of a quadratic equation. Let's input enter value of a. Let's call the function with a b c values. A b c. Yep. Let's do it with float. cd python math.py say 2 3. Okay, I'm not printing it right. I have to print the values. Print let's use format of keyword. Format of x underscore 1 x1 x underscore 1 is equal to 0. x2 yep. cd python math.py to wait a second. 0 so that if imaginary part is there, so that it will be it will be added to the imaginary part. So yeah, let's try to run that. Here you can see it is printing two things, and 0.75 is the real part, and this is the imaginary part. This is how we find roots of a quadratic equation. In the next video I will explain the next chapter. That's it for this video.